timid. Look, wait. I got people trying to wish and pray that I'ma fall about it. All about it till we spoke in person. Don't wanna talk about it now, huh? Oh, you sound tough. Toying with them, don't get wound up. How you wound up? Another number in the round up. Put the town up. I built this thing up from the ground up. And if I bounce up, I get my crown stuck. Green light go, got the east side flow. I'm a giant in the space like FIFA4. All the kids sing along like EIO. Every time when they see my show, thinking that it happened overnight. Yeah, did it. In it for the long haul flight. Committed.
Oh hey, welcome back. It's been a while. Oh, we're still in January. It's been a while. Yeah, so to the new viewers, welcome back to my podcast. This is Beyond My Story. For those that are watching me for the first time, I'm Godwin Kidondo. I've been talking about my story, pretty much a journey of where I've come from, where I'm at, and where I'm headed, and where I want to transition with us to where we're heading. So please take a moment to hit that subscription button and then make sure to turn the notification bell on, so whenever we upload my stories or I upload my stories, we are notified and we are on this journey together. Thank you so much for the new subscribers. I really appreciate you taking your time to, kind of engage with me, even on the comments. We actually do take our time to read through the comments that you share. Thank you so much for also the motivational messages that you're sharing across to us, that we're reading. I'm talking about we, because again, in this journey, I'm with my family, with my kids, so it's kind of an engagement. It's a collective kind of journey that we're going through together. So on today's podcast, I want to talk about my transition from operation, getting into management, that I've actually spoke about in my other videos. For those that have not had a chance to hear the stories about how that transition has been, please make sure to not miss out on any of these series. We've done about 5 episodes, I mean to say. You can catch up with that. So this is trailing back just around the COVID time, if I remember well. I was kind of, in a dilemma whether do I continue in this journey of management and front office, or do I transition into sales that I was actually looking at? I was like, when I look at sales and marketing, this is one field that I was so eager to get into. But what was kind of slowing me down was I was already into front office management. I was like, at the peak of my career, I would put it that way. And I was like, why have I worked so hard to get to where I'm at, and then transition to start all over again? But at the same time, I was telling myself, life is all about changes, adapting to what's new, starting from somewhere, picking up from somewhere, and having different kind of elements in your career, in your life, that if this doesn't work, you anyway have this. If this seems boring, you can transition to this other. So I was like, it's somewhat the same thing, but you're kind of doing it differently. So I reached out to a couple of contacts that I had within the same company that I was working in, and I started kind of reaching out to friends and telling them, oh hey, is there an opportunity that I can kind of transition to sales and marketing? I know that I'm in management and front office. At the time I was the club engagement manager, or in other hotels or in other institutions I would call it a guest executive lounge manager. So at ours, we were calling it the club lounge. So I was a club lounge manager at the time. Had a great team, very supportive. They were looking up to me. I was looking up to them. We were working together. There was no hierarchies. Obviously, that was for the titles, but on how we used to work, it used to be a very, very, very healthy and a very good working environment. So yeah, I started getting some positive responses from the contacts that I'd reached out to. And there came a time that this kind of worked so well. So one of the very close friends that I had in sales approached me and told me, hey, listen, I remember you told me you were looking out to move to sales and marketing. There has been an opportunity, but again, obviously this is a junior position, but I think it's a good startup for you since you're not in sales, you've not been in sales before. So I was asked if I could meet her boss than whoever she used to report to. So that was scheduled. Had a meeting, and I was asked if I was up to the responsibility. Obviously, I was kind of briefed what the title was all about. It was, working in a different kind of atmosphere. It's sales. You had targets, you had partners, you had relationships to establish, to maintain, to build. There was networkings, and there was all this. Somehow similar to what I was already doing in operations as managing a team. But again, this is in a bigger perspective, in a bigger platform, in a different scope. So I was like, yeah, I'm up to it. The only thing is that they weren't sure if I was going to accept kind of stepping down a couple of different levels down to transition into sales, since I was already in management. I was asked if I was okay with an executive level in sales, and obviously in terms of the packages that I had then, I was told that would be maintained, just that the position had to be a lower position than what I had. And I was like, anyway, it doesn't really change what I was having. It just gives me a different experience, different exposure, different platform, and a little bit better benefits, I would say, since in sales you kind of have different kind of incentive schemes or plans and all this that kind of is part of what you do. So I was like, yeah. So had that interview, they liked me, got scheduled for second one to meet kind of the commercial lead at the time. And then again, this was around, I remember very well, it was around the time that COVID has slowly started kind of taking effect, but again, it wasn't like much spoken about. So I was like, yeah, I was up for it. Spoke to my manager that I was reporting to, told her about my intentions of transitioning to sales. But again, I asked the contacts at sales then, obviously different division in the same company that I was working in. I'd asked them to send an email out to my management and tell them that anyway, they've met me, I'm interested in this, they're willing to absorb me in this position that was there for an executive level. Obviously, my current management called me out and sat me down and spoke to me and told me, listen, they were willing to support me. I remember having this conversation with me and telling me, you're really at a certain level that you're just about to get in a senior level, obviously senior level than what I wasn't. Why do you want to transition to sales in a junior role? And I told him, listen, life is all about adapting, and it's my career, it's what I wanted at the time. I needed that change, and I felt that it was the right time. So I was like, listen, we can't stop you, and it's a great opportunity for you to grow as well. This is a different scope of what you're doing. It's a build up in your career. So they allowed me, and that. So obviously, there were kind of some internal agreements between both management and sales, and obviously in operations, on when they could let me leave or when they could let me go. They had to kind of work on getting a replacement of what I was doing, or replacement of someone that could take over my responsibilities at the time. So that took a couple of weeks, I remember. Then finally it happened. It was around March, I remember. Yes, March in 2020. Got this, the letter of intent, obviously, with the change of title, internal transfer into sales. I had remember the date that I had to report. I received this letter on a Wednesday. I remember I had to report on a Monday of the following week to sales in a different business unit, obviously different hotel, because again, I was going to transition to sales in a cluster role. So there were 12 hotels that I was going to look after, as opposed to management and managing a club lounge or front office executive lounge in one unit. So I was excited about it, and obviously the package for me in terms of what the benefits that I had was even more, if I look at it that way, because I had an incentive program that they were obviously budgets that were put in there that if I met them, I would kind of get, it's incentivized, you meet them, you get an incentive out of it, which was motivating actually. Then started that I had an itinerary for training on exposure into that. But I would put it this way: what really motivated me to transition from management into sales was, I really wanted to kind of change. I wanted to change. I just wanted to change from working in front office, which I'd been in for nearly 7 years, 6.5 plus years. I wanted to just change. I wanted to feel that I'm doing something different. I'd already worked in the entire. I'd worked in the same hotel for quite a while, and I feel that I needed change. I just wanted to change into something different, into something that would challenge me more. So I think as much as I was moving into a junior role, the change kind of, the feel of wanting to change got into me, and I felt like I really needed it so bad. And it didn't really matter to me that I had to move into junior role. I had to again transition into being trained into what I needed to do and how to do it, and change everything. And obviously that kind of freedom of just dressing in what I felt like, obviously still keeping it formal. But in sales, you don't get uniformed, right? So you kind of have your formal wear. You can put on whatever you want as long as you have this business attire. That's collectively just having that change, feeling different, because obviously the rest would still remain the same. So that change influenced me into accepting that. So I moved into it. A couple of weeks into that transition as a sales executive in a cluster role was very exciting, because moving from one hotel, I remember then I had 12 hotels that I was looking after in the same company that I was working for. It was a very good transition, and then slowly COVID started creeping, so the moving from one hotel to the other kind of started kind of slowing down a bit. I had a lot of virtual trainings, obviously in different phases of transition, and then that kind of went very well. I had a very good team, the sales team then, that kind of helped me adapt slowly into that, and a lot of them were my friends already, so it was quite good and easy for me to transition slowly into the whole thing about sales, which I really loved. And at one point I started asking myself, what took me so long to transition, or to adapt to this change that I really liked and I really loved. And the clientele was different. It's not like kind of the operational thing. For those that are in operations would understand, it's a whole different kind of environment. It's a whole different kind of feel. I had my weekends off, which obviously I rarely had when I wasn't on my operations, because this is the peak of operations. Whenever holidays were on, I was also on holidays. The only different thing is that there were targets, there were numbers set there that I had to meet. There were deadlines that I had to meet. There are partners that I had to make sure that I maintain the relationship with. There were competition of other companies that we're working with, because obviously in sales you cannot compete with others in the same field as well, trying to get your fair share of what is out there. It's like trying to get a slice of an equal share of, or a share of the cake that's out there. That's a business element of it. So it was good. It was a good transition. So did that for a couple of months, got into a year and a half, and then I felt like, wow, I need another change. Once you change once and you get into you transition into a good change, it motivates you to the next. So all these years I've been working for a homegrown company, that is established from here, but it was not a global company. It was slowly transitioning into other regions close by, obviously. And then I felt the need to work for a global company. So this motivated me, I would say, or this pushed me into my next role. So I started reaching out to contacts. Obviously in sales you meet so many contacts, there's so many networking events, there's so many opportunities, there's so many partners that you meet, that you work with, that introduces you to other contacts that work with international companies. So I remember I started reaching out to a couple of contacts. This was over a year and a half being in my executive level in sales. and then started getting contacts. I remember receiving an interview, having an interview, actually being invited for an interview rather, for one of the leading international companies, with a lot of hotels. I mean, it's kind of the leading. I don't want to mention names out here now. I'm not in that position to mention them out. So I got an interview. It was for the next level, which was the most exciting thing. It was not just reaching out for change, but I was motivated to get into to be affiliated with an international company. One of the reasons why I really wanted to get affiliated with an international company was, if ever I decided to change with my family or have to relocate, it would be kind of a good and an easy transition to kind of adapt to or move to another country, and be able to work with that company, since it's an international company, stationed or located in different parts of the world. So that's what also motivated me. So I had an interview, got screened, went on well. They were satisfied with the outcome. I felt so confident going for that interview. Was very excited that it was for my next level. And by God's grace, I was offered an opportunity to join them. So that happened. Accepted it, signed it, went and resigned from the company that I'd worked for nearly 10 years. It was about 9.5 years. Transitioned to this international company, had a very good, easy transition. A couple of people that were already there were people that I'd worked with in my previous company, so it was kind of an easy transition. And then moved in there, worked there for a couple of months while still moving in. I was grateful that I had that opportunity. It was not just easy, it didn't just come by luck, but obviously God intervened, and I'm a very prayerful person as well. I keep mentioning that. So had a good transition. Another thing that really helped me out there, that made me move again, I had opportunity to start traveling for work. I remember having my first business trip while I was just about nearly 2 months into that company. I had an opportunity to go for a networking event with the company, to travel and represent the company in the role that I was working in, which was very exciting. So that motivated me more. Did that for a couple of months. And here is the thing. My transition from that international company to another company came about with just having that open mindset of I'm open to grow, and I felt like growth was coming faster than I anticipated it. So hear me out. In 5 months being in that company, I had an opportunity to move to another international company. Round of applause. Was good. That doesn't come by luck. It comes by hard work, a lot of dedication, and committing yourself to what you want to do and doing it better. And I would say, like, my motivation of growing was myself. I wanted to be better. I've always wanted to be a better version of myself in everything that I do. And I think this pushed me to the next level. So I got pushed into elevating in what I was doing then, like, I would say, I kind of got approached by a colleague that I used to work with and asked if I'd be willing to join my colleague that had transitioned into a senior role in another international company as well. And then I accepted it. Why not? Stepped down in my second role, that is in sales, then moved into that other place. Again, transitioned well. There I didn't have an opportunity of traveling, and I think that is what kind of changed my mindset when I was there. I was not getting the opportunity to travel for work, because again, there is that excitement that comes with traveling for work. It's a different kind of experience, it's a different kind of exposure, you meet different kind of clientele. So that was kind of restrained in that company. So I felt like, I should not have moved from the previous one. But again, I was motivated to why not expose myself to the market, to kind of try and adapt to something else. And yes, an opportunity came about. And what motivated me to move back again was now I wanted to be affiliated with luxury how can I put it? I mean, like, I was actually in an international company, but the segment of the company that I was working in was a premium one, but I wanted to be affiliated with a luxury company. So I did really push myself, made a couple applications here and there, and I got invited for one of the companies I was launching, an international brand as well. Again, I don't want to mention names out there, which I went for, presented myself, did a couple of interviews here and there, I got shortlisted, obviously with a couple of others, and by God's grace, I got an offer to join them back again into the luxury collection of hotels that I was working in. I'm trying to restrain myself from mentioning names out there. So got into that again in my next level. Obviously, whenever you go for the interviews, I've always advised that if you feel confident in what you're doing and the skills you have, try to always try to push yourself to ask for what's next, your next role or your next level, and challenge yourself, like what you've been doing, don't continue doing it in another company. Try to do something different or a different elevated opportunity, which is what I'd push myself for. So got into that management, and I think that's where I kind of positioned myself back into the same role that I was in operations. So got back into management. Was managing a whole segment in sales at the time. So it took me about 2 years, 2.5, close to 3 years to get back to management level that I was in operations. So sometimes change comes with some challenges, but again, it comes with opportunities that positions you, that elevates you, that equips you to get to that way, to get to points that you want to see yourself, So that I did for some time, kind of settled there. I felt very comfortable there. I had a great team, obviously support from operations that I was working with, though I was in sales, from my colleagues in sales that I was working with, from partners that I used to work with. Again, started having some business trips. I think I remember having about 2, 3, 4 business trips with that company in management level, which was really great opportunity for me. And then after another 2 years, close to 2 years and 3 months, I felt the urge to again change. I think this change thing kind of scratches you back at some point, that you feel like you need to change to something else or elevate yourself. So I remember approaching my management in sales in this company that I was working in. Asked if there was an opportunity that I could get promoted to my next role. Obviously, that was not at the time was not possible. Then I told them again, listen, I feel like I'm ready for my next role. I'm already looking out for opportunities out there, and so I kind of notify them so that they don't get surprised if I approach them and told them I had to step down and leave for something else. So I was kind of preparing them and also trying to give them an opportunity to elevate me to that role that I felt I was ready for. So again, I got an opportunity in a more senior role, which I'm currently at right now, which is a senior sales role, which is great in, again, another international company, which I don't want to mention names out for right now. I'm not in that position to. So great. So that transition came about obviously by pushing yourself, having yourself as your point of reference, of being a better version of yourself. Obviously, we do have people that motivate us to be like them. We look at that, but I think the best contrast to look at is yourself. Do you want to be where you are? Do you feel like what level of opportunities you have motivate you to your next role? What is motivating you? And obviously another thing that I would say has really motivated me more when I got into management in sales was being a family person, is that you have kids, you have a family, you have expenses here and there, and the lifestyle here is not you need to adapt to it. It's expensive, let me put it that way. So obviously being able to maintain that, being able to live up to that, that also motivates you to kind of make sure to always try and elevate yourself from the level you're in. That's why I always look at myself and say the biggest motivation that I have for my growth is myself, situations around me, my family, trying to always give them the best, always try to grab the best, try to be the best version of myself in all aspects, in aspects of work and financially, even with partners, trying to be different version of myself, approaching them with a different company. Obviously the same partners, you come to them and tell them, oh hey, listen, I've just moved, transitioned to another company, this is what I'm doing now. They also kind of they push you as well, they've seen you through these transitions, because they help you grow as well. So even in the companies that you work in, as they grow, always try to push yourself to also elevate yourself if you don't get elevated by them. So always try to elevate yourself to also be kind of aligned with them as well. So always have kind of the same graph. They elevate yourself, or if they elevate you, try to also push yourself to kind of meet up and be better version of yourself. So let's catch up on the next video, where I would want to introduce you to the other side of my life, which is the most exciting part of it all, other than speaking about my journey, my career and all this. So this is very exciting. This is where we're going to talk about a lot of transition. So catch you on the next video.